Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 14 of Bar and Restaurant Breakthroughs podcast, where we're going to talk about bar and restaurant owners' only problem to ultimate success and really how to overcome that problem of, either wanting to make more money, take more time off, or whatever that may be. And I'm also going to inform you, let you know about a couple free courses that I'm going to be giving away that are valued at about $3,000 right after the end of this episode, where one of them is tied directly to what I want to cover with you guys today. So what is the only problem for us to really reach the level of success that we want to be at in life and business, in the bar restaurant business? It comes down to us. We are that problem, but primarily on how we use our time. I've worked with so many bar restaurant owners over the last 7 years, and I've seen some common traits in the ones who do really, really well, see breakthroughs in their business, and the ones who don't. And one of the biggest things was time, how they use their really want to be in business, versus the ones who didn't get there. Their big excuse was time. Well, I don't have time to market my business. I don't have time to learn how to become a better marketer. I don't have time to work on these things. Why? Because they're working on all the day-to-day $10 to $15 an hour tasks that are in their business. And when you start telling yourself something's not possible, that you don't have time, that's what's going to stick into our minds, and we're not going to do anything to try to solve that or figure out another way. So we believe what we tell ourselves. So if we tell ourselves, I'm not making the money I want, but I don't have enough time to get to do the things that I need to do in order to grow my business, it's not going to happen, right? If we keep telling ourselves that. But again, it all comes down to time. That's the biggest excuse that I've heard from so many people in the past, is that they don't have the time to do these things because they're working in the business rather working on the business. I know we've heard that phrase, that term, time and time again. And, when you are doing those $10 to $15 an hour tasks, that's the stuff that we should not be doing. That's not making us money. We should be focusing on the marketing, the growing of the business, creating partnerships with other, local businesses, other charity groups, working with the city on different things, whatever we could do to kind of just, build the business, build relationships with our customers, and other small businesses. So, we know we should be doing that, but we don't have the time, and we're holding ourselves back that we just don't have the time to do it all, right? So how do we get over that? Okay, how do we take ourselves, our business to the next level when we don't have time to do the things that we need to do? The one thing that I learned from one of my productivity coaches, this was, a few years back, was he had me write down all the little things that I was doing on a day-to-day basis. He told me, keep a notepad, and for 7 days, I want you to write down every single thing that you are, that you're doing in your business, for 7 days. What exactly is that? And so that's what I did. And pretty much he said, then take that list and create a list on like the left-hand side of the stuff that you want to be doing and the stuff that you don't want to be doing. He said, because when you're doing work that you hate, that you don't like to do, you start to procrastinate. You start to find other things, or you let other things interrupt you, so you don't have to do these things that you don't want to be doing, which then, leads you from not being able to build and grow and scale the business, or focus on the $500 to $1,000 an hour tasks, such as, the marketing stuff. And he said, so create those two different lists, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. And number one, get rid of all the stuff that you don't like to do. We need to create a different, some systems, processes, trainings to teach other people on how to do this stuff. And we'll get to that later. He said, then from there, with the stuff that you like to do, what are of the things on that list, what is it that of those that are actually making you more money, that's bringing in more customers, that's building relationship with those customers? He said those are the things that you really need to focus on doing, that obviously needs to grow, scale the business. And if there's too many of those things, what are certain little segments of that you can now offset and hand off to a manager, another staff member to do for you? Okay, so first it all comes down to, if we're holding ourselves back from success because we have no time, we first need to figure out everything that we're doing. What are we doing that is taking up all this time? and now figuring out what are the stuff that we like to do. Because if we like doing certain things, we're going to be in a better state, right? We're going to enjoy doing the stuff. We're going to be happier. If we're doing shit that we don't like to do, it's going to bring us down. We're going to procrastinate. We're not going to do it. So we need to get rid of all that work and figure out a way to train other people to do that stuff for us, but make sure it's being done on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. And then the stuff that we do like, what is the most important stuff of that's going to allow us to grow and scale the business? And then if there's too much of that, if there's still too much on our plate for us to focus on the marketing side of things and growing the business, what stuff that we like to do that isn't really going to take us forward, that's not going to make us more successful, how can we take those things and now start giving that to other managers or other staff members to take on for you? So it's kind of a step-by-step process, but you first just have to get a vision and look at everything. Take a step back and look at everything of what you're currently doing, and then figure out, what don't I like to do? What can we offset to other people? And then figure out the systems to put in place for that. And that's kind of been the strategy that I've been using with my clients over the last 18 months or so, when they're telling me that they don't have time. Okay, well, tell me what you do on a day-to-day basis on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. What are you doing? And if they're doing a lot of the stuff of working in the business, number one, we need to find a way to get other people to do that type of work, so they can focus on the growing of it with the marketing and everything. And yes, that stuff does take time. You got to put systems and processes in place. And the hardest thing about this, the hardest thing that it was for me, was I felt like if I gave certain tasks to other people that I felt were important, such as ordering or scheduling or maybe even doing payroll, that they would fuck it up, right? They would screw it up. And then, I just felt like I had to do everything myself. But, pretty much what my productivity coach had told me is like, hey, if you don't get rid of that, think of the most successful companies in the world. The CEO doesn't see everything and do every little thing here and there. Eventually you have to let go. Things are going to screw up. It's going to happen, but you learn from these mistakes. And if they're screwing up because of your system, your process, your to-do list, whatever it is, because it's not clear for that person, now to go back and figure out where they screwed up and how can you make these directions, this system, easier for them to understand or to do so they don't mess it up. It's like, how do you create the recipe to take this to do and complete it in a successful way? So you just got to eventually let go and be able to learn from your own training system, your own process, to figure out, can you take what you're doing, what you don't like doing, and have someone else do it for you in a step-by-step, weekly, monthly fashion, so it's taken on for you, so you can open up that time to do other things. Which leads me to, again, the main thing with this episode was to kind of reveal these trainings that I'm doing, but to kind of pinpoint one of the prime problems that I've seen with people who want to take their business, the bar, the restaurant business, to the next level. And it's just because they're doing so much of the day-to-day operations, which, it takes up a shit ton of time. And as being an owner, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. Should have staff doing that for you, which, that does take money. I get it. There's payroll there, but you're never going to be able to get out of that slump if you're not willing to take the risk of being able to have someone say, hey, take on Monday, I need you to do all this stuff for me on Monday so I can spend 4 or 5 hours on Monday growing the business, marketing the business, making myself a better marketer, learning, reading a book, whatever it may be. We always need to sharpen our tools and better our knowledge in what it is that we need to grow and scale the business. And one of these courses that I'm going to be giving away, there's going to be a link right below this class or this episode, whether if you're watching this on YouTube, listening to it on the podcast, there's going to be a link on here if you want to get free access to one of the trainings. I'm calling it Time Hacking for Bar and Restaurant Owners. And really what it's a 4-week masterclass. I'm giving it away for free. And the reason why I'm giving this away for free and another $1,497 course is, I'm going to be upfront and honest. It's a blatant bribe to kind of get people to test out a new program that I'm launching, which you can get more information on this if this does even interest you. This might not be for you. It's not for everybody. It's not simple. It's not easy. These are, advanced trainings that will help you take 10, 15 hours off of your week each and every week. So the whole time hacking course for bar and restaurant owners, it's 4 weeks. And pretty much I'm going to walk you through step by step how I only work 2 to 5 hours a week on both of my bars. So I can spend 30, 40 hours a week on bar restaurant success, working with my clients, take vacations, spend time with the family. But that's what the whole course is going to be about. And I'm going to show you how to build these systems from scratch, exactly what I have built in both of my bars. But now we're going to take it and specifically design it to you and your business for the things that you need to do. We're going to take a look at, everything of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis. And now what are the things that we can take and implement to other people, and then how do we create those systems in a step-by-step fashion in order to get our managers or a bartender or even a server to take on these things for you, where they can easily understand it and know how to do this stuff without screwing up. So that's what the whole 4-week course is going to be. So if you feel like time, or if you feel like you are holding yourself back because you're telling yourself you don't have enough time to do this and that, or you're doing all these $10 to $15 an hour tasks that you can't just get away from, that's holding you back to where you really want to be, of just being able to oversee the business, have the business run itself while it produces consistent cash flow for you so you can do what you want when you want, then I suggest you at least just take a look at it. Click the link down below. It might be for you, it might not be for you, but I just wanted to kind of go through today and talk about the biggest obstacle to our success, and it's us. It's what we believe. It's what we tell ourselves. It's the way that we use our time. We know what we need to do to be successful, right? We know what we need to do. It's just there's times that we hold ourselves back because we may want to believe we can't do this because the economy's, gone to shit, the war, whatever it may be. We tell ourselves a lot of things that hold us back, and because we're telling ourselves these things, that's what we believe. Okay, so it's kind of getting over that and believing that, hey, we can be successful, we can double our business, we can go have 5 different bars, we can have 5 different restaurants that pretty much run themselves with a great GM, a great manager who oversees everything, to where all you got to do is look at the numbers and come up with fun promotions and talk with customers, send them out some weekly emails, communicate with them, listen and hear what they want, and build relationships within the community and charity organizations. That's at least what I wanted and what I try to focus on. Everybody's different. But if that's the type of lifestyle you want in the business, if you want to be in the kitchen, if you want to be behind the bar doing that stuff, this isn't going to be for you, So I just want to be upfront and honest there. But go ahead, take a link down, or take a look below at the link down below. You can get signed up. If you're listening to this podcast, watching this podcast after May 9th, you will not be able to get access to this. It might direct you to a different link to get signed up. But we're starting the class on May 9th for the time hacking class. So I just want you to be aware of that. It might take you to a waiting list or something like that. But if you're watching this in the current present moment right now, May 8th will be the last day to kind of get signed up for this, and you'll get all the details of why I'm giving this stuff away for free, kind of what the big bribe is in the new membership that we're launching here. But take a look at it. I hope you guys got some value from this and understand that, the biggest obstacle, it is us. It's us holding us back. And one of the biggest excuses I've seen, it's time. Okay. We have enough time, okay? Just as everybody else in the world, we all have the same amount of hours. Why are some so successful versus the others? It's what we tell ourselves and how we use our time. And if that's what's holding you back, I think this time hacking masterclass is going to be perfect for you, because it works really, really well for me and my managers. And I expect it should work for you as well.